I just glanced back there, and there was a man walking across the field. And I saw him for a second and then couldn't see him anymore. I said, Heather, is there somebody working in your field? She said, no. It was solid. It wasn't a mist. It wasn't a shadow. It was a person.
Welcome to another episode of The Unexplained. I'm Luke.
I'm Dustin.
We are the hosts with the most ghosts. Today we have Gena on, and she's a paranormal investigator. So we're going to talk to her about some of her experiences she has, and maybe ask her a couple of her favorite haunting locations.
Yeah, see if she has any crazy experiences, because we've definitely had some crazy experiences talked about here on the show so far.
Definitely.
What was your favorite experience so far?
My favorite experience? Ooh, that's hard to say.
I know.
I don't know if I can. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can pick a favorite. I feel bad for picking a favorite, then like someone's gonna be like, "Oh man, there's no my," you know what I mean?
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah. I really liked Gwendolyn's. I think Gwendolyn's is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. Like, what about her experiences? Because she talked about Bigfoot, and she also had the paranormal experiences too.
I think the Bigfoot experiences was probably my favorite.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine Bigfoot living in my backyard. I think I would like to reach out to her. Gwendolyn, if you're listening, if you got some video of that tote getting thrown in your garage, I would love to see that if you would like to share.
If my thing stops swiveling, you might be good. Whoa.
There. Luke, you got shorter. There was an episode that you kept touching your mic. No, you would like put it over here. And then move it back over here. It's
Mikey's.
I didn't notice it. Mom pointed it out. She's like, can Luke not find the right position for his microphone? I was like, why? And she goes, because he moved it a lot during this one episode. I was like, oh. I was like, maybe we should make a drinking game of it. Every time Luke moves his microphone, we take a drink.
If you have any crazy experiences or encounters you would like to share, please reach out to us at exploringunknown@outlook.com or message us on Facebook or any of our social medias.
Yeah, we'll make sure you can find the email on our Facebook, because I know it's spelled with underscores and stuff because of reasons.
You ready to hop into this episode?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Hey, how are you?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
How you doing?
Doing good.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Gena. I've been actively investigating for a little over 10 years. I've always been interested in anything paranormal since I was little. You know, I was the one bringing the Ouija boards to the slumber parties going, hey, let's talk to dead people. So I, realized about 10 years ago that people actually could do this stuff. It wasn't really on TV, so had some crazy experiences in my early 20s that really kind of fueled that paranormal thing. So started kind of doing this thing on my own with a couple of friends, and then ended up joining a local team, did a little bit more, and then actually started myself and another guy started our own team about 3.5 or so years ago. And then I was with Outlaw Paranormal up until 1st of December. And then I left and went solo. So I'm kind of rebranding right now.
Okay.
We had a pretty big footprint, but I felt like we were kind of going in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a lot going on in other areas, and we had a moonshine label. I mean, it was just, we did a ton of festivals and things like that. And I wanted to do more investigating. So like, I don't want to hold him back. And so I pulled away. So
Yeah.
solo.
So you've been just investigating on your own then more recently?
I've been on my own or collabing. I've got a lot of friends in the paranormal. So I've got some friends on Mid-10 Paranormal from Middle Tennessee, and do a lot with them. Just, with whoever will have me at the moment, or on my own. So
Yeah. Oh wow.
there's a lot of drama in this field and stuff right now. So if I'm not a part of a team, I'm kind of free to do whatever I want to do, and nobody's going to get their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
What's your favorite location that you investigated?
Probably gotta pick one. Trans-Allegheny. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia is one of my favorites. I've been there several times. Hold on here. I've got a camera down here that's spinning like crazy. I don't know what the hell it's doing. Brushy Mountain State Prison. It's another favorite. I've got more than one, but probably Trans-Allegheny was the original, what I call pay-per-view location, where you actually have to pay to go to, and so it's probably my number one at the moment so far.
I've been there one time.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was cool. We didn't get that much paranormal wise, but it was a pretty cool location.
Yeah, I love the history behind a lot of these locations. It's the story that they have to tell, which is a big part, I think, of the paranormal too. And now you guys are from Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we did Penhurst Asylum last summer.
Oh, okay.
I heard about that place.
Yeah, same.
It was, I mean, it's kind of like Trans-Allegheny. Very cool story. So much history, so much sorrow and pain there. We didn't get as much as I had hoped. I think things kind of died out as the evening went on, but I'm willing to try it again. We're trying to book something in maybe September and do another week-long trip up that way, into New York and everything again.
We just did an episode with somebody from the Greene County Historical Museum. They do paranormal investigations there too. You can find online. You can book an event.
Where? Greene County
Historical Museum.
Where's this at?
It's in Waynesburg, PA.
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
We're like 20 minutes from Moundsville Penitentiary.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I've been to Moundsville.
Yeah.
That place was it's pretty neat too. We did over the summer. We went Gettysburg, and then up to Penhurst, And then on up to Hinsdale, New York for the Hinsdale House. That place is crazy. If you ever get a chance to do that, it is dark. There's something dark there. And then over to Wildwood Sanitarium, and then up in Niagara County there at Greystone Manor, which is pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Long road trips.
Yeah.
That sounds long.
Yeah, it was about a week, about 8 days. So we figure if we're going to travel that far, then we rented like this 15 passenger van. And there was like 6 of us, and we were packed in there with all the equipment and everything. So it looked ridiculous, but we had a blast just investigating.
There's another good one in PA. It's called Hillview Manor. It's in Butler, PA. Or no, Newcastle, PA.
I have heard of Hillview.
I've been there a few times.
Is it pretty active? So what's your all's favorite play? Are you guys primarily ghost paranormal? Do you do Bigfoot, alien?
A bit of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of dabble in whatever we can get into.
I recently oh, somebody's got a baby.
Oh, you can hear.
Oh, I recently somebody turned me on to Dana and Greg Newkirk and the documentary Hellier about Hellier, Kentucky. Dana and Greg are ghost hunters, basically, and somebody contacted them. And Hellier is kind of like this whole down the rabbit hole alien craziness of these little towns in Kentucky. And so now I really want to go search for goblins in Kentucky.
I would too. That sounds very interesting.
That does sound fun.
My husband doesn't get into, well, he's gone on a couple of these with me. It's not his thing, but he went on the big one. And he's doing another big one with me in June. But we've got a few days with the end of the month, and he said, "You want to go up to like Somerset, Kentucky, go over to Point Pleasant, Mothman?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I do." Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, they have that Mothman festival coming up, right, Luke? You just sent me something recently.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming up in a couple months, I think.
Yeah, I think September.
Yeah, September 21st and 22nd, I think it was.
I have not been to that. Been through there, but I've never stopped at the museum or anything like that. So yeah, I like road trips. I like to just kind of meander and see what kind of interesting things you can find. And
what do you think of Mothman? Do you think he's out there, or
cryptids? I don't know. I don't know what to think about all that. I'm not really sure on the whole Bigfoot thing, because I've never really had that experience. I think if they are out there, then I think it's all related somehow, interdimensional kind of. That I don't think there's an undiscovered species out there wandering the woods that we've just not found.
Yeah.
Somebody would, where do they go?
Right.
Yeah. I think there's something more interdimensional, shape shifting, something going on. But I said, never had that experience. Never looked for Bigfoot. Would love to. I'd become a total believer, if I had that kind of experience. But so I'm open to it.
What do you think some of your most compelling or most memorable encounters were during like an investigation, a paranormal investigation?
Ah, we've probably well, wasn't really during an investigation, but one of the early things when I was about 20 that really, really got me hooked, was my first shadow figure.
Mm.
And I didn't realize that there was a name for it until just a few years ago. Um, but I woke up at a friend's house, and this would have, God, what year was the blizzard? 94.
Oh,
Because
okay.
there was, yeah, I'm a lot older than you guys. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, no,
So
that came out wrong. No, I'm just 93. I remember my parents talking a lot about the blizzard, that real big
it's,
blizzard that was like 93, 94. Yeah, because I was born then. So
I was born in '94.
okay. Okay, I'm old. Yeah, but there was, I was 20. There was snow on the ground outside. May have been 21, no, 20. But there was snow on the ground outside, so you get that glare coming in, and I had fallen asleep. We've been watching movies, and I was on like one end of a big sectional, and the other side of that room was totally dark, and woke up, and the corner was kind of lit with the light coming in, and I could see a dark shadow of a man standing there with what looked like a um, fedora type hat on, and he was moving his hand, and he was just standing there, and it didn't scare me, because I thought, okay, I'm dreaming. So I started blinking, and he wasn't disappearing.
yeah.
So I yelled without taking my eyes off. I yelled at the guy that was on the other side. At least that's where he had been when I fell asleep. And
Mhm.
I was yelling, Charles, Charles. And I wasn't getting an answer. And this man was still standing there. And I finally turned my head to look into the dark corner, and I said, Charles. And he was like, what? And when I turned back, he was gone. And my first instinct with, you've seen the whole Freddy Krueger with his big hand thing. And I said, Freddy Krueger is in the corner. And he said, don't bring me in your nightmare. And, but that really kind of shook me, because I know that I saw something. And then it wasn't until just a few short years ago, somebody had posted an article about, the Hat Man. And I was like, oh my God, I know him. That's what I saw. That is what I saw. And so that was the big thing that shook me. Um, that was 20 years ago. But as far as while on investigations, had my name called plenty of times through the spirit
Mhm.
box. Had heard whispers. We've gotten, EVPs played back. Had an exhale on me, which was really, really weird. In the body box at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, I felt I was the only one in the back here, and felt literally there's no air or anything, no outside air circulating. You're just kind of in the back of the closet that they didn't have a morgue, so they stored bodies in this long room, and I
Mhm.
was like a closet, and I was asking questions and had spirit box and recorders at the other end, and then something, I heard the exhale and felt my hair move.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
that
That
was
one gives me chills.
that was pretty neat, and I was like, did you just, but that was pretty neat. I've never, I'll say, felt, never been scratched or anything like that. I've had my hair lifted up a couple of times. Um, while over the summer, I'm not the person that goes in and says, "Oh, I see a little boy," or I
Mhm.
just I'm not that person. people say, "Oh, what is your gift?" It's tolerance. You know, um, I get so excited when I do catch something.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
you know how it is when you do catch something, when you do see something, it's never on camera. You never have a camera. It's your recorders aren't going. We did Greystone Manor up in New York, and it was during the day, and we were had just got there, checked in. Heather was giving us a tour, and we were out in her back field where there was an old blacksmith shop that had been, and there was the cemetery, and there was unmarked graves, and she was showing us around, and she had a big field in the back, and this is up in like Niagara County, so it's kind of back in the country. It almost feels like being home in Tennessee, but there was a big field back here in the back, and a kind of a grove of trees, and I just glanced back there, and there was a man walking across the field, and he kind of disappeared behind the trees, and I saw him for a second and then couldn't see him anymore. And so I thought maybe it was her husband, and I turned around and looked back at the house, and he was in the backyard working. And I said, "Heather, is there somebody working in your field?" And she said, "No." And I said, "There's not anybody that would be walking back." And she said, "Did you see something?" I said, "There was," and he was solid. He was solid. It wasn't a mist. It wasn't a shadow. It was a person. And I said, "I saw a man walk through the field, disappear behind the trees." I said, "He had on a light colored shirt." And she said, "And dark pants." And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "I've seen him, many times." And she said, "I don't know if he was a worker or what." But
Mhm.
I bought her book and started reading it on the way back. And the first couple of chapters, she talks about the man in the field with
Oh
the
wow.
black shirt. And I was like, no camera on, just kind of doing the tour when you get there. And I was like, man, I was just, I love that. That's what kind of keeps you coming back, to get
Yeah.
those little glimpses
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
the past.
That's wild.
I had a pretty crazy encounter when I was in like high school. Um, Me and my brother and my sister were sleeping in my room. Well, me and my brother shared our room. And my sister's room was getting remodeled, so she was staying with us. She slept in with us. And the one night we heard the scream, like a little girl getting like killed type of scream. And my mom, she went downstairs to shut off the lights because we were getting ready for bed. And we thought it was my mom. And I'm the oldest, so they're like, go check on my mom. I was like, I ain't going down there. Like maybe she saw like a mouse or like a rat or like a cat. We lived in a whole old house at the time. And a couple seconds later, she comes running upstairs. She's like, "Why'd you guys scream?" I was like, "It wasn't us. We thought it was you." And it was a blood chilling scream.
Is there any history in the house, or?
Um, looks real over 100-year-old house. And I think it was a farm at one point. People had like farm animals and stuff like that.
Mhm,
And it was built on like a coal, like for coal mining or something like that.
mhm.
And so it has some like history, but that was scary. My dad saw a little boy walk up to him in 50s style clothes and said, "Hi, my name is Billy," and just disappeared just like that.
Same house?
Yeah, the same house.
Oh, neat.
My sister had her name called a few times when no one else was home. My brother saw the cat man in the house too.
Oh.
So yeah, it was a pretty haunted house.
Now the house that we're in now, we've been here about 4 years or so, and
Mm.
where we moved from is like literally in the backyard. We had a bigger 2-story house, and it wasn't old, built in the 90s. It kind of had an old feel to it, though, because I love that. I love antiques and things like that. But I always would catch something out of the corner of my eye. And I never investigated my own house, and I was told never to do that, and I just never did. I mean, I knew something was there, but I didn't. I had to live with it. I didn't want to poke that bear. But I would see things out of the corner of my eye, but I always kind of thought, well, it was just reflection off of a window or whatever, because that's the first thing I do is try to debunk anything that happens, because 90% of it is nothing.
Mhm.
And then when my husband, when we got together and got married, I said, well, we thought about selling the house and downsizing. He goes, yeah, it's haunted anyway. And I was like, what are you talking about? I've been here several years and I'd kind of written it off, and it got more active from there. I mean, he saw me, he was shaving in the mirror, and somebody, which he said was me, walked behind him in the bathroom going into our walk-in closet, and he started talking to me, and I didn't answer, and then he looked, and I wasn't in there. My car wasn't home yet. We had footsteps all the time upstairs, going back and forth when everybody was downstairs, and just all kinds of craziness in that house. It never felt threatening at all, but it was just kind of neat. Still don't know who or what was there. Um, I did kind of sage it before we moved. So I don't know if it's still there, and the house I'm in now actually had 2 deaths within the year before we bought it, but have not really seen anything at all here that that I would classify as paranormal.
Mhm.
Um, and my husband would swear I brought it home if we did. So
I had a few crazy experiences where I live right now. I can tell you about them if you want me to.
sure.
Um, we have 3 kids, and the one night we had kid footsteps running down the hallway. So I was like, okay, maybe like one of the kids are up getting a drink or getting to the bathroom. And I got up, got went to check on them. They're both sleeping. A couple nights later, I hear the same thing. I was like, they're up again, and they were sleeping. So I came out in the kitchen, and I went in the kids' room and grabbed like a ball, and I set it on the deep freezer in my kitchen. And I was like, if there's any kids here, can you move the ball? Me and my fiance standing in the kitchen, and the ball flies across the hallway. That's one of them.
That's wild.
I think the creepiest one is, have you ever heard of like a ghost texting somebody?
Had to do what now?
A ghost text. Whoa, my chair just fell. A ghost text message. A text
Uh-uh.
message from a ghost. I've witnessed that. Um, I was on my way home from work around 11 o'clock, and I got a text message from my fiance's phone, and it said, "I'm gonna get her." And I was kind of freaked out because, like, okay, like, what if someone like broke in and something bad has going on? So I call her. She never picked up the phone. I call her. She never picked up the phone. At this point, I'm getting worried. I was like, what's going on? So I call her again, and she picks up the phone. She's like, what? I was like, she's like, I was sleeping. And I was like, what? I got a text message from your phone. And she had me on speakerphone at the time. And I was like, hey, that's creepy. And I got a response back. Don't be creeped out. or something like that. And I was like, oh, this is really weird now. And I was like, thinking maybe someone like hacked their phone and they can hear the conversation. And I was like, who is this? And it's like, it don't matter. And I kept asking it, who is this? And it said, it don't matter. So I got to get mad. And I was like, who the F is this? And it said, my name's Victor. And I was like, who's that? And it's like, I'm an 8-year-old boy. And it's like, what do you want? And I said, my mom. And I never got a response back from that. And I said, who's your mom? And I never got a response back. So, and this never came through my fiance's phone, just my phone, because I looked at when I got home. And she's like, no, these text messages never came through my phone. And I was like, oh, that's weird.
That
That's
is really weird.
so you're never able to debunk it or anything.
Nope. I mean, my fiance's, well, not my fiance, it's my dad's girlfriend is like a medium. She can sense things. So I sent her a picture of the house, like, because I was kind of freaked out too. Like, what if it's something evil, like trying to like get her or like possess her? So I sent her a picture of the whole house, and she's like, "There's nothing there, but there is nothing evil here, but there is a little boy here. He's about 8 years old, and he's looking for his mom." I never told her anything about the conversation I had with this paranormal thing. And she's like, yeah, there's a little. Then after that, I told her, I was like, I got these messages. And she's like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that I try not to jump on the demon
Mm-hmm.
wagon that everybody seems to be, you know,
Yeah.
screaming about now. I think, I mean, yeah, we've run into some nastier spirits. I mean, I think however you were in life, you're going to be in death. So if
Mm-hmm.
you were not a very nice person, then you're probably not going to be very nice in the spirit realm either.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Now, I know you said something earlier about saging. Is there anything else that you might do before or after an investigation to like protect yourself?
Prayer, sometimes, I mean, depending on where we are going in, um, on a lot of these big commercial, what I call the pay-per-view things,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
we generally don't. Did a residential, several years ago with the old team that I
Mm-hmm.
was with, and it was in a few, like a couple of years before that. This was actually a trailer park, but there had been what do you get flagged for on here? There had been a murder in here, and the man had literally strangled his wife with a straightening iron cord
Oh
in
wow.
their bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and killed her, then went to the kitchen and half fried some chicken and was eating it, and calls the police and tells them, hey, I just killed my wife. And supposedly when they got there, um, he had a gun. Why he didn't, use the, but he didn't know why they were there and didn't know why he was being arrested. But a year and a half, 2 years later, they rented this home out again, and these people were having issues. It was a young couple, with a little girl and a newer, very young baby. And the guy was having anger issues all of a sudden, and he
Mm-hmm.
uh, wasn't normally a very violent person or didn't have much of a temper, but he had since they moved in. The little 4-year-old stopped eating, refused to sleep in her bed. It was just a lot of weird, really weird things going on there. So that was a place that we did feel like we needed to protect ourselves, and it was, they called us in and we found out there had actually been another suicide in this same home. So it was a lot. It was a weird, really, really heavy energy. A couple people on our team got sick and barely made it through the door, and
Oh
left.
wow.
So, and that was one of those cases where you just, move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they did. I don't know whatever became of that, because um, I don't think in Tennessee that you have to disclose. I don't know. I mean, this was just a rental that the guy basically cleaned the carpet and rented it again. And so there was a lot of very bad energy in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that I wouldn't call it demonic, but it was dark. There was a
Yeah.
lot of dark there.
Yeah.
I've been to a pretty dark place. Have you ever heard of the Bel Air house in Bel Air, Ohio?
Mm-mm.
It was a pretty, like, they call it the Bel Air Shadow House, but they used to call it Bel Air Demon House. And we
Wow,
stayed there for the weekend, and actually witnessed someone getting like full on possessed.
really?
That was scary.
I would. I don't know. I'd like to watch an exorcism, maybe from a distance.
Hmm.
I don't know that I want to be. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's out there.
Hmm.
I just don't think we encounter it as often as people would like you to believe they did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You see so
Yeah.
many, a demon followed me home, or
Mm-hmm.
with the little thumbnails of, you
Yeah.
know, that's, I've got to start putting that on all my videos.
Yeah, I get that. My mom and grandma are like real Catholic, and they're like, they believe all of it is like evil and stuff like that. I was like, Mom, it's not. But that's the way she was raised and born, so she always thinks all that paranormal is evil and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the buckle of the Bible Belt here, and um, a lot of people have that belief. A lot of older people.
Hmm.
I think with all the paranormal shows, it's made it all more mainstream now. So it is a
Hmm.
lot more accepted, than it used to be. And it was kind of neat doing a lot of the paracons and the festivals and things that we did, or when you meet people and they find out what you do. Even the people that, oh, I don't believe in that stuff, that's,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all demons. But then they'll go, hey, listen, this one time, everybody has a story. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want to
Yeah.
admit that they believe in it, but hey, let me tell you what happened.
Hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really neat. I love to hear people talk about when they have family members too, that they feel like came back. They had some closure. And
I got something interesting about that. A family member coming back. My we were up Geneva, Ohio for vacation. My first year, me and my fiance got together, and she's sleeping, and she said, Pete said hi, and I was like, Pete, and I was real confused. So I woke her up, and I was like, he's Pete, and she's like, I don't know, he was standing under a bridge fishing, and he said hi, and she kind of described him to me, and I showed her a picture of him on my phone. And I was like, is this him? She's like, yeah, that's him. And he died 10 years ago, like before we even got together. She never seen a picture of him before. And she's like, yeah, that was him. He said to tell you, he said hi.
Wow.
It's wild.
So, what do you guys think about? I mean, there are so many people out there that are trying to make a living now as mediums and psychics and things of that nature. What have you guys had anybody on? Do you have people in your lives that you think are true psychics, mediums?
I
You
think
got
my dad's fiance, I shouldn't say fiance, but his girlfriend, um, I think she is one of the ones who actually like do see stuff. The first time she ever met my fiance, we were at my cabin, sitting by the fire, and she told Chris said hi, and her ex-boyfriend passed away. How long ago was it he passed away?
it's been a while. It was in high school. I graduated 2011, so
About 2011, and she never met him. She never heard anything. My fiance never brought his name up, and she said someone else too. Her cousin Mitchell. Um, she saw him, and uh she said hi. So my dad's girlfriend is one of the ones I truly do believe she has a gift.
I also do tarot readings on I was doing them on TikTok Air for a little while, and I've had a couple of readings where it seemed like I predicted either the current situation or what may be coming in the near future, but I'm not one to say yes or no. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I don't know. I've definitely had some experiences that I can't explain, but I'm
Mhm.
not one way or the other.
Yeah, I've which I know a couple people that I've seen them read, and I've seen them just really nail it, and then I've seen them. I don't think anybody gets it, right 100% of the time. Um, I don't know. I'm a big skeptic too, as far as psychics, as far as anything paranormal. I want,
Hmm.
I want to debunk. I want proof. I love the
Hmm.
spooky, but I want, you know. So yeah, I want somebody to blow my mind and tell me something that they have no way of knowing.
Hmm.
And I'll give you all my money. Tell me more, but. But yeah, I get so many messages and stuff. Oh, let me I have a message for you. Yeah, okay. But
Yeah, I feel like those are the ones that are really just trying to get you to give them money.
yeah, tell me something that you cannot read in a family obituary, and I'll give you some money. If you know something, then
Hmm.
yeah, blow my mind. I'm open. I believe people have that gift. I'd love to meet somebody who truly, you know,
Yeah.
could see that, could,
Um, I believe that we all have that ability. I think that others are just a little bit more in tune with it than most.
yeah, I agree. I think we all do have a little bit of psychic ability or intuition, or I think everybody's
Hmm.
had dreams out of the blue that actually happen. You're like, where the hell did that come from? But yeah, I wish I could tune into that more often.
Right. I might win the lottery or something.
But I, I would just love to be able to see those couple of things that I've seen, to be able to see that kind of thing more often. I mean, I have got thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and then we'll occasionally use dowsing rods, but I would love to be able to, tune in with my own body also,
Hmm.
to see if that agreed with what the equipment says.
Yeah. I have a theory about the spirit boxes, that the voices that are coming through aren't actually like the spirits. It's the spirit that's connecting with us, that's kind of guiding us to the words that are coming through on the stations.
So yeah, so it could be man or woman, you don't know. It's just manipulating it to whatever is
Yeah,
handy.
right. What's your favorite piece of equipment to use in an investigation?
Probably just a recorder, because a lot of times when you're doing EVP sessions, I mean, you can't dispute that. That's not going to be a radio station. So recorder is probably one of my favorites. We I have got the trip wires now. I'm liking those. I've got music boxes, and just I've got the Ovulus.
Oh.
Not my favorite, probably one of my more expensive pieces of equipment, but yet not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean but probably the recorder, because that
Yeah.
is it's hard to manipulate that. It's hard, you're not going to set
Mhm.
that off your phone with a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
How do you feel
What do
about
you
all of
think of
this?
some of?
Do you
How do I
think
what?
it's how do you think about what do you feel about all of this? Do you think it's legit or you think it's a lot of just made up words?
I will use it. I have had a couple of instances where it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we were at interesting enough, a powwow over in this place called Trade, Tennessee, and it was an
Mhm.
old mill there that was haunted, and we were holding an investigation, and a guy came in with it was an Ovilus type piece of equipment, and I cannot remember it wasn't called an Ovilus, it was a woman's name. Um, but it was made in the UK basically, and he had ordered it, but it was the same thing, as the Ovilus. And he said, "Oh, it's this." And my Ovilus said, "Oh," and it echoed the name. And I was like, that was weird. Um, most of the time, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense what comes out. We probably the best thing that the Ovilus ever did. We investigated a building over here in town of Newport. And in the 1960s, there was a plane crash that hit the side of the mountain there, close by, and killed all 30 something people that were on board. Nobody really knew how it crashed. Um, there was only one, I mean, it just obliterated everything. Um, Only one body was intact, and that was a man who jumped from the airplane before it hit the ground. So nobody knows what caused it. There was a lot of conspiracy theories around it. But at the time, there was no funeral home that could accommodate that many people. And they had to be identified. So they took all of these bodies back to this building, the Cobb County Memorial Building, laid them out on the gym floor and to identify them. And it took over 2 weeks. And this was in the summer too. So it was horrible. So we had
Mhm.
investigated that memorial building several times, and actually went up on the side of the mountain and was we're up there the date of the anniversary of the crash. And we were going to see what we would get, at that exact moment. Would we be able to, record airplane noises or crashes or anything like that? So we're up there and it was like 6:00 something, I think, in the afternoon or an evening when it happened, and we're quiet up there, and the Ovilus is running. At exactly that moment, the Ovilus goes, "Surprise!" And so, but yeah, I don't. The Ovilus looks good on camera. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
People like to see those actual words coming through, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah. What do you
I,
think about the? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
a lot of it is kind of gibberish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what do you think about the apps on the phone that a lot of people push?
Ah, I have used some of them, and some of them actually have done okay. Um, Dead Wave wasn't too bad. Um, what is that Vox one that's
YouTube.
goes to Vox? Yeah, that. Um, I've had some good stuff with that one. I mean, what you're looking for is relevant, I guess, answers to your questions, just like the spirit box.
Mm-hmm.
So some of it, but I'm not good. I don't know exactly how those apps are geared to work. I mean, are they mimicking back? Are they listening? Are they, you know?
Right.
So spirit box is probably still the way we go a lot of times. I've got an ink box that is kind of the spirit box. It's got the filter on it, so it filters out a lot of the sweep noise that you hear. It'll also do shortwave frequencies too, so we use that occasionally.
Is this a physical piece of equipment that you can order online, or?
Um, yes, it was made. Oh my gosh, I just drew a blank. Um, he'd shoot me. There's a guy that made it, and he makes these equipment. It looks like a boom box, and it
Okay.
actually had our old team logo on it because I bought it, so I don't have it in here with me. Um, but it's called an ink box. Stafford, Katie Stafford made it, I
Okay.
believe, and so I still have it. And it basically is, a spirit box, but it
Mhm.
cuts out a lot of that the sweep noise that
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
drives you crazy.
Mhm. I feel like that sweeping noise kind of gives me some anxiety or paranoia when I'm.
We
Oh,
got I ordered some of the Gansfield experiment glasses, the sensory deprivation for like remote viewing. It's
mhm.
goggles that you put on that you can do just a white light or a red light, or it can flash, and it's designed to kind of help you zone out. And we've used that during the Estes method, and I don't know, some people like it, some of them don't. Are we going to have a seizure? What are we doing here?
That sounds interesting.
That's
I want to
that
get a
does
pair of
sound
those
interesting.
glasses.
Yeah, I like doing the Estes method.
Mm.
I do too. We've had some interesting things
Mhm.
happen using the Estes method. I like, if it possible, we like to totally separate that person. Um, we've set up cameras before, like put that person in a different part of, like, we had an old hospital and we set somebody up on the second floor, headphones and everything on. We were in the basement and we're, watching him, and you're asking questions. So there's no way they can hear anything that's being said. You're 2 floors away, but we're still able to watch him and hear his answers. And be able to, that to me is amazing.
Yeah. Good results, I suspect.
We had some crazy results, and we were actually live on TikTok, and we would, you know, it was really neat because he was there by himself, and he actually liked to be handcuffed or tied up, and blindfolded to totally feel like he was vulnerable. But the other guy said, okay, if you're down there with him, go whisper in his right ear and tell him, purple or something to that effect, and touch him on his right side and whisper in his right ear. And so then a second later, we hear him, we see him go, are y'all down here with me or up here with me? He said, I hear a woman in my right ear whispering. Somebody just touched me on my right pant leg.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we're like, oh, wow, we did that. That's cool.
Yeah.
And he had no idea what we were, instructions we were giving him. But at that point, he was like, okay, enough. Come get me. So, but yeah, we've had some pretty neat experiences, and got a lot planned for this year. I love going to new locations, and
That's awesome. Do you have any events or anything that you're going to be at or speaking at or anything like that you'd like to plug?
no, I have, since, like I said, since I've gone solo, I have not tried to get out there and book anything. I'm just enjoying investigating. I just finally ordered my own shirts because I didn't want to. I wanted to have something to wear on investigations, but I've not tried to book any paracons or anything like that. I'm just out there enjoying investigating for the sake of doing it and meeting like-minded people. So no, I'm not plugging any paracons or anything like that just yet.
Yeah. Any socials, any social media, anything?
I'm on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. Hopefully, I'd like to get a YouTube channel going here pretty soon. Ghost Girl is what I go by now.
Oh, nice.
That, yeah, you probably can't see the back of the shirt. It's like a pinup ghost.
That's cool.
But but yeah, so I've just kind of been building, those pages up a little bit more since I left the team. So it's hard to walk away when you've got such an established footprint, but I just kind of wanted to do my own thing. And so I've met a lot of fantastic people doing this over the years, a lot of interesting people. Like I said, there's a lot of drama in the paranormal world right now, and I hate that.
Yeah.
Because we all started in this for the same reasons, with the same, passion and interest.
Yeah.
And, I want everybody to be successful and happy. So whatever that means to them. But, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to be famous. I'm not going to have, I just want to go out here and investigate and tell the histories and the stories behind all of this. So
Yeah.
just investigate.
Well, that's really cool. Um, yeah, did you have any other questions or anything, Luke?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for coming on and talking to us.
Yeah,
Well, thank you
absolutely.
guys for having me. And like I said, if you guys ever want to investigate, give me a call and we'll collab and meet up somewhere and investigate. We've got a lot of pretty interesting places down this way too.
Yeah.
Definitely
I don't,
will.
I don't think I've ever been down that way. You said that's Tennessee, right?
This is Tennessee. This is East Tennessee. I'm about 30 minutes from Bristol,
Mm-hmm.
NASCAR.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys, yeah. So I'm pretty close to that. I'm about. I think Gettysburg took us about 6 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gettysburg's probably what, like 4 hours for us?
4 or 5 hours from us, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're kind of in the hills of Tennessee down here.
Yeah. If we ever make it out that way, we'll let you know. That'd be cool to link up and do an investigation together or something.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
we've got,
sure.
like I said, and hopefully we'll be heading up your guys' way again. We were shooting for September. We're kind of waiting to see. Some of my friends with Mid-10 have got a lot of family stuff going on too right now, so they're trying to coordinate around that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're going to try to get back up and hit Pennsylvania and New York again. And
There you go. Yeah. If you're up here around September, maybe we have a convention that we're going to be setting up at in Farmington. Maybe you stop by and check it out. It's Bigfoot convention.
it's a Bigfoot convention.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. So do you guys do a lot of Bigfoot hunting or?
No, not really. We're just kind of starting to get into this. We just posted our 10th episode this past Sunday, and we got some plans for trying to do some investigations and post them up on YouTube and stuff this summer. But yeah, a lot of things in the works for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of work doing a podcast and
Yeah.
Yeah. And working full-time jobs too, so
Yeah.
we tried to do that a little bit with Outlaw when we first started out, and to have a subject and a guest every week, and it's a lot. Like you said, you've got
Hmm.
family and jobs and everything else too, so you definitely don't want to neglect that.
Right.
yeah, no.
Right. It's working out though.
Yeah. For now.
Thank you guys for having me on. This has been fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time, and we won't keep you any longer. You have a good night.
All right, you too. I
All
appreciate
right.
it, guys.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
So what do you think? I think it was pretty good.
I think it was. Yeah, she's really cool to talk to. I like that she has that skepticism about things and looks for the reasons behind what could potentially be making the paranormal activity. I don't want to use air quotes because that makes me sound like I'm closed-minded, because I'm not closed-minded. I believe that there's things that happen, but I think that sometimes we jump to conclusions too fast, and it could potentially be something else.
I agree.
Thanks everyone for watching another episode of Exploring the Unknown, and if you're on Spotify, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post new episodes every Sunday, and hit that little bell notification icon so that you can get notified when we drop a new episode. Before we do hop off here, I didn't get this set up. I need it though. Hold on.
Would you have a question, right?
That's it. I like doing these. These are fun.
I did too.
This one's perfect because Mothman was mentioned. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Would you rather stumble upon the glowing eyes of a Mothman in the dead of night, or feel the icy breath of a Wendigo on your neck during a forest hike?
See, you had to do this one, didn't you?
Wendigo's your thing, isn't it?
It is. I like the Wendigo for some reason. I don't know why. I'd like to see a Mothman. I mean, I like to, like... See, you got me all, like...
I got him
Which
flustered. I got him flustered, ladies and
Because
gentlemen.
you know how much I like the Wendigo, and I've been looking up Wendigo thing.
Yeah.
You say I wouldn't see the Wendigo, you would just feel the cold breath.
Yeah.
See, I think I would go with seeing the Mothman, because I'm actually seeing something. I'm just feeling a cold breath on the back of my neck. Now, if you said, if you were seeing one, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, I don't know. I think some of these are not as good as others. Because I'm using ChatGPT to create them. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one I would choose, honestly. Man, I might have to go with the Mothman, and here's why. Because if I can see the Mothman, I can see the eyes, right? All right. But now with the Wendigo, if I don't see it and it's breathing on me, so I know it's there, that scares me. I would much rather see what's going to kill me than not see what's going to kill me.
Oh, you don't know what's breathing on the back of you. For all you know, you don't know what it is.
Could be the wind.
It could be the wind. It could be anything. At that time, you won't know it's a Wendigo. You just feel a cold breath.
That's true. Until you turn the corner and then bam, Wendigo. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to this?
No, thanks again for listening, and we'll see you on another episode of Exploring Unknown.
Absolutely. And don't forget, if you have had any paranormal experiences or cryptid or alien encounters, please reach out to us, because we would love to bring you on the show and talk about it.
See ya.
She's just like, see you guys. Alrighty, everybody. Thanks for listening. Have a good night.